Hi, and welcome to this week's weekly general love reading for Friday, October 11th, 2019. Now, this is a timeless reading, so it does not have to be October 11th for you to get something out of this. All you need to know is that we are looking at the next 7 days, okay? So no matter what time you're watching this, we're looking at the next 7 days of your love life. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the energy that's going to be involved this week. Hopefully make some predictions, look at the dynamics and the themes, and give you some advice, okay? With that said, I do want to thank you guys for all the wonderful donations. It's really helped a lot. I'll just say more about that at the end of the video because I don't want to waste anybody's time. That said, let's go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is the gray bloodstone. Pile number 2 is the pink rose quartz. Pile number 3 is the purple fluorite. Pile number 4 is the black obsidian. Pile number 5 is the blue lapis lazuli. And pile number 6 is the white Opalite. I almost blanked on that. It's Opalite. Alright, so while you guys are picking, I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that anything you need to know about me is going to be in that description. That also includes the timestamps. Hopefully, I will have enough time to go ahead and leave a comment with the timestamps as soon as this video goes up. But if not, you can find the timestamps in the description. So, for those of you who have not picked your pile yet, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, we're going to start with pile number 1, the gray bloodstone. Alrighty, guys. Okay, pile number 1, the gray bloodstone. Here is your reading. We have the 4 of coins, we have the 9 of wands, and we have the Empress. Okay, that's interesting because we also have the maiden and the dragon. Okay, and the advice card is individuality. Okay, I want to start with the advice card. Actually, I usually don't go this direction, but it's just such an interesting theme that I really want to put this out there first and then look at the week. So what you're being advised to do is, it's not about being authentic. I mean, being authentic is important. Sticking with what you truly believe and who you truly are, even if you're kind of in the act of finding yourself right now and you don't really know who you are yet, or you're building who you are right now. Being an individual, as in acknowledging what makes you you, right? That's important, but this isn't talking about just individuality and just authenticity. This is also talking about the unique way you love. So what I'm getting is that for the viewers who pick this pile, you have a very unique way of expressing your love, and this is showing that regardless of the relationship, whether it's you and your person, or in any kind of other relationship, or even if it's just a love of work, make sure you're showing your love in your own unique way, okay? Because there's a way that you show it that it's just not like other people, and the world needs more of that kind of love in it, okay? So I just wanted to say that first. So this week, it looks like it might feel at the beginning that there's not enough of something, okay? So it might, given that this is in the physical, we're talking about material world, it could be money issues. I don't think that's what it is, though. I mean, it could be for some of you, but I really feel like it's more like there's not enough of something that's can be physical. So, I mean, I understand that text messages, are out in the internet, and all of that, but it could be like maybe you're not getting enough communication, or maybe you're not getting enough attention, or maybe you thought you were going to get a certain gift and you've got a cheap knockoff or something. I don't know. Some people care about that, it's something to that, it's something like that. You're expecting more than what you're getting, and people say, oh, well, don't have expectations in relationships. And I think that's a healthy way of applying, yeah. But we should be able to expect at least that our person is going to meet our boundaries and is going to treat us fairly and all of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there are some expectations that, you know, it's all right to have. And if our boundary is that, you know, okay, you've been saying that you're going to buy this washing machine for the past 20 years and we need to wash our clothes, you know, that might be something that, you know, you got to put your foot down on. But what's going on here is that it feels like even though you might not be getting enough from this person, you are getting something, okay? So that's, I mean, it's kind of like, that's like, okay, you're really pushing to see the silver lining there, but I mean, really, it's not that you're not getting anything, it's just that you feel like you're not getting enough of it. So kind of keep that in mind and try to look at it with that kind of attitude, because it's not like it's going to be nothing, okay? Also, there's this feeling that things are being prepared right now in your love life, and I feel like it's your person that's doing it. Your person is preparing for something, and it has to do with how ready they are to go to a next level in your love life. I do want to come back to this and just say your person might actually be a little clingy this week. This would not be describing you guys. This would be describing your person. And it could be that you feel like you don't have enough energy to manage that. Okay? So it could go basically kind of the opposite direction, like you're getting too much, you know, like too much attention, too much, you know, need there, but that you don't have enough to give back. You know, it could be that too. Again, that's where your own unique loving, the way that you do that, plays, okay? But yeah, it's like they're getting ready to do something, or they're getting ready for something in this relationship. So you might feel like something's about to happen in this relationship. With the Empress, we'd also have, you know, everything's kind of at the right time. The Empress talks about the harvest and all of that kind of stuff. It's also mother energy. So we're talking about nurturing, and we're talking about that kind of love, you know, protection, nurturing, and security. I know that nobody wants to really think about their own mother when they're thinking about their love life, but there is an aspect of that we bring into our relationships, the way that we nurture our relationships and things like that. And so that mother energy, you know, it helps, you know, as long as we have a healthy relationship with our mother, it helps us feel more secure and that kind of stuff. And for those of us that don't, sometimes we need to bring more of that energy in, or we need to learn to accept that energy from other people. So this is interesting too, because we've got the Empress is kind of standing for the mother, and then we've got the Maiden here. So just like in Christianity, there's the triple Godhead, which is the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? In other religions, there is the goddess head, right, or the maiden, mother, and crone. So we've got the maiden and the mother here, but we don't have the crone energy. I think that that's very interesting, okay? The crone energy brings wisdom. The maiden is innocence and new beginnings, and the mother energy is about creativity, okay? So basically, you know, we're talking about new beginnings and creativity, okay? And that's exactly what this card says. A new relationship will blossom. Let's make sure you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. I'm like reading it upside down. Hopefully you can see that. A new relationship will blossom. So yeah, we're talking about new things, okay? So if you are already in a relationship with somebody and it's like, wait, I don't want to be in a new relationship, this is talking about new energy blossoming between the two of you, okay? For those of you who maybe have a crush, or, you know, that you're starting to date, it's like this is blossoming into something more, okay? For those of you who are, you know, watching and like, I don't really have a person, but I'm wondering if anything's going to come up, you'll probably meet somebody this week, okay? We also have the dragon. Now, it's funny because I hadn't even thought about how this would represent wisdom, but, you know, now we've got the maiden, mother, and crone energy because we've got wisdom here. Strength and wisdom. Here's the deal, you know, it's important when we see certain motifs come out, right? And what we have here is somebody getting ready for something. It's the right time. You know, we've got someone who's longing for love. That's you know, about to get what they want in love. And then we've got the dragon. And we just think about fairy tales, and we think about what happens in the story. You know, we've got the hero that, you know, and I'm going to just presume this is a masculine hero, okay, but that doesn't mean that you can't play this role. But there's some kind of inner demon or some kind of force that is acting against the world or the person themselves, and by slaying their demon, they're able to then be with the, you know, they're then able to love. So kind of think about the larger implication of that theme that like cycles around and around and around in so many fairy tales. And these fairy tales don't come from the same place. They come from different cultures all over the world at different times. So this is a motif that is ingrained into our psyche, okay? And so this is something that speaks to everybody, is what I'm trying to say, okay? Regardless of where you're from, it speaks to everybody that there's a monster that you have to fight first before you can be with that person, you know? So figure out, is there a monster that you need to fight? Or is your person and getting ready for something new with you, are they starting to fight their own demons, you know? Maybe your person has their own things that they need to take care of first before they can give you their full attention. That's why it feels a lack. I feel like this is really open to interpretation for you guys, not for me. I mean, for me, I know what it would mean. What it would mean is like, you know, okay, I don't have enough, I don't have enough resources right now, so I'm feeling kind of on edge, and then, and somebody else is just taking care of everything for me. That's great. I've got to nurture myself. I've got to bring nurturing into the relationship. You know, something new might happen, so that's great. And, you know, maybe there's something lurking in the background that I'm not seeing that's actually bringing this relationship down. And what I need to do in order to bring the relationship back up is to love in my own authentic way. So is there anything blocking me from loving in my own authentic way? That's the way I would interpret it for myself. So it's not the interpretation isn't clear. It's just that you've got to figure out what that dragon is for you. What is it for you that might be pulling this relationship down a little bit? Okay. Alrighty. So this is just to kind of reiterate, this actually is not a bad reading. It looks like you're going to have a pretty good week when it comes to love. Okay. You know, this stuff at the very beginning of the week, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I don't feel like it's going to be defining your week as much as that maiden dragon energy will be, okay? All right, pile number 2, those of you who picked the pink stone, here is your reading. We have the King of Cups, we have Temperance, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, wow, so just notice that there are chalices in all 3 of these, okay? If you can see that, we've got the stars and earth, okay? Okay. So you've probably been with your person a long time, or this is like denoting a long time, but I really feel like you've been with this person a long time. And then we've got forgiveness. Okay. So this is your advice card for the week, okay? It's forgiveness. So that means basically you've got to figure out a way that you can ease up either on yourself or your other person. I actually am getting, for most of you guys, about 60%, so that's more than half of you. The forgiveness, there's something inside of yourself that you need to forgive before you can accept this cup and have this happiness and this happily ever after. But I mean, this is showing me that it's right there. You've got it. It's there. There is a little bit of a balancing that you're going to be having to do this week when it comes to your love life, but you're having a positive love life. You feel like you're in control of your emotions, and, you know, it's like they're working for you. They're not just, it's not just that you're having a whole lot of emotions and then that's making you feel like all up and down. It's more like you've got these emotions, but you've totally got it. You know what they're telling you. You're interpreting them in a way that I suppose makes sense. It brings logic into it, which is talking into the earth. You know, we're talking about being sensible as well, you know. And so when we've got all of this combined, you know, we've got a situation where you've got a very stable relationship, you've got a very long-term relationship, and you've got something that actually has a direction. It's actually going somewhere. So this week, if you've been having good weeks, it's going to be more of the same. If you haven't, this is the week it's going to turn around. But just know that you've got to give yourself some kind of forgiveness this week. And if it's not you, then you've got to figure out how to forgive your person, because it's either you or your person. And understand that, you know, it might not even be your person themselves, but what they represent. You know, I know that some people have issues with the opposite sex, or with their sexuality, maybe, or with, you know, or with their partner, or whatever. I'm not saying that this is only for opposite sex, you know, opposite gender, you know. This applies to everybody, regardless if it's same-sex couples or not. You know, I want to make sure that you understand that. But I know that, for example, a woman who's been attacked by a man, for example, might have issues with men in general and project that onto her partner. That's what I mean, okay? Sometimes people have issues that go beyond that person, but that person still carries it for them. And I understand that it's not fair to blame that person for what somebody else does, but our minds, it's the way our minds handle information. And so forgiveness for a person like that might mean you learn that not all men are like that, you know. And so that's just an example, and that's why I was saying the opposite gender, because I've seen that a lot. You know, I've seen a lot of that, especially with women that come to me. They've been victims of maybe hyper masculinity is the best way to kind of summarize it. So that's what I mean. But yeah, turn this inward. See, is there something that you're just not letting yourself get past? Because maybe there's something that you feel like you're doing wrong, or you feel that there's something, you know, there's something that's like eating at you that you need to just forgive yourself for, or you need to forgive the other person for whatever transgressions they've had in the past, and really believe that they're going to be better. And this goes for you too. If this is on your end, you've got to really believe you can be better than however you were before. Okay, you've got to believe that you know things can get better, because that's what life's all about, is applying all of the knowledge that we have and the wisdom, and things getting just a little bit better as we go through the journey. But yeah, just to reiterate, we've got your person is going to be offering their heart to you. They're going to be talking more about their feelings. So this is going to be a time where it's okay to talk about emotions. Okay. We've got this kind of happily ever after card here that's, and I feel like this is kind of just showing you the potential there. Okay. We've got temperance, which does have to do with balance. Okay. And I actually feel like it might just be a balance in communication, making sure that you're letting your person talk as much as you are, and vice versa. Because, you know, it's like there's this sharing of ideas and emotions, especially. Again, it's going to be very emotional, but it's going to be stable because we've got the earth energy here. You know, it's not going to feel like it, and then also we've got the king, so it's not going to feel like it's moodiness necessarily. But yeah, so you've got that, you're reaching a balance. The stars let us know that this is, you know, this is an eternal thing. This is something that can last for a long time, or it's something that's been going on for a long time, just for those of you who need confirmation. And then forgiveness is your is your advice card. So yeah, it looks like this is gonna be a happy week for you. If this is the way that things have been going, pretty nice. It's gonna be more of the same. Otherwise, things are gonna start turning around this week for you. So that's awesome. All right, hi, pile number 3. Those of you who picked the purple stone, here are your cards. We've got the Chariot, the 3 of Cups, and the Moon. So we've got 2 major arcana cards, and we're going to go ahead and put these next to each other. We have Seduction, Passion, Romance await. Okay, and then we've got Medusa, Jealousy leads to downfall. Okay, and then we've got Creativity. Okay, so when I pick these cards, this is your guidance card, okay? So creativity is basically your advice for the week. You know, make sure that when you're putting your heart out there and when you are approaching your relationship, you're doing it in a creative way, okay? So some of you, it might mean literally like writing for somebody, painting for somebody, composing a song for someone. You know, it could be that, or it could just be like, you know, get creative in how you're expressing yourself and that kind of stuff. Okay. The Chariot is talking about you guys are moving forward, okay? So you will see some forward movement here. Somebody's still holding back their emotions, though. The physical side of this relationship, you do not have to worry about. This person finds you physically attractive, and you find them physically attractive. There's no problem there. Do understand that, especially if this person has a lot of friends that are the same gender as you, or you feel like if you feel like you're being threatened by somebody else, you know, that this person is the kind of person that can have friends as well, you know, as friends, and not have it turn into romantic things. Okay, some people can't do that, but this is a person who can. So the jealousy, you know, I don't want to tell you to ignore your feelings, because sometimes we feel jealousy and it might feel like a kind of an empty emotion because it doesn't really serve a purpose, but sometimes our emotions can help us be alert that maybe there's something wrong here. Okay, so if you do feel jealousy, you know, check around and see, okay, is there something that is this rational? Is this something that I am being told by inside of myself to kind of be aware of, that there's something that I should be jealous of, or is it coming from this totally irrational place where it's just like you just want this person all for yourself and all of that kind of stuff. I know that I personally know the difference. So I am imagining that you guys would. So if, you know, and if you don't, just know that as you're exploring your feelings, you know, just sit with them until the answer comes. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. For those of you who don't feel jealous, this could be talking about your partner, that, you know, or your person, that your person's going to be the one that's going to be expressing some jealousy. A little bit of jealousy is healthy and fine. Just make sure that if it's going a little bit too far, you've got to put down your foot and be like, look, you know, we've got to base this relationship on trust. Right? And for those of you who do have a jealous streak, I know I do, you know, building that trust helps quiet that jealousy, okay? Passion and romance await, okay? So this looks like a very intense week. You're moving forward. It's going to be very intense. This card just is talking about spending time out with people, okay? And having a good time and all of that kind of stuff. It can allude to drinking, so be careful about that if you're the kind of person that, you know, I know that I'm the kind of person, I just can't drink. I don't do it because I just can't do it. If I have like a half a glass of wine, I'm insane, you know. So, but it's, you know, so that's there. Just be careful of excess. And I'm just saying that, you know, I have kids and I'm the age where I'm like, ooh, I gotta make sure everybody's taken care of, you know. But yeah, I mean, we've got, you know, just make sure that you're being aware of excess. And you guys are going to be moving forward. Somebody's not saying something though. And I don't feel like it's you. I feel like somebody's holding back. So your person probably has more emotions than they're letting on at this moment. But they're going to try to express that to you in a more intense and physical way rather than a verbal way. If that's not something that you find acceptable, then you're going to have to explain to them that that's nice, you like that, but that you need to hear it too, you know, if that's something that does come up, okay? Make sure that you are setting those boundaries. All right, guys? Okay, so this looks really, really positive. You know, holding back emotions isn't the worst thing in the world. It's actually kind of romantic sometimes, you know? So don't worry about that so much. Just know that there is something still that this person isn't telling you, and it has to do with their feelings towards you. It's not about, like, them having a secret. It's more like they have more feelings than they're letting on, okay? Alrighty. Okay, hi. Those of you who picked the black obsidian, here is your reading. Oh boy. So we've got the Two of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Wands. We've got the Oracle. We've got the Queen. And we've got Respect. Okay, one thing that's really cool about you and your person this is the advice card, just so you know. Is that you guys are able to meet on the same level and you really respect one another, because it's like neither one of you kind of see the other person as being, I guess, lower than the other. I know there's many times I've see it, especially in young men, where a man will, and it's not only confined to the male perspective, but I've just noticed it a lot in men. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that. They'll marry a woman that, for whatever reason, they find this woman as being not as smart as them, or somebody that basically they don't have to feel threatened by in certain ways, and that can be a very natural thing. I'm not knocking it at all, but what is kind of sacrifice there is that man can't meet that woman on the same level. Okay, they've already kind of purposefully created a gap. Okay, so one thing that's positive about you and this person is that you guys respect each other. You meet on the same level. You guys, both of you know that this is supposed to happen. Okay, so there's no question about that. This week it's going to be real passionate. You might notice that the two of you guys might even have a couple of, you might be bickering a little bit or having some spats. This is the weirdest message I've gotten. Maybe not the weirdest, okay, guy, because I've gotten some weird ones. But I mean, it's a counterintuitive one, I guess, is that what I'm seeing here, when we're talking about this and this, it's painting this picture to me that it's like, this person cares about you because they're bickering with you, because they're having these little arguments with you. They care, and I think that I said something like this in Monday's reading about a completely different situation, but this is definitely in your love life. It's like, that they care about you because they go to the first off, they're comfortable enough to bicker with you, but also because they're willing to challenge the situation and stuff like that. So understand that that's kind of a sign for you, okay, that they're very comfortable. Just understand that when your person gets defensive because they might this week, or when you're feeling defensive, understand that a lot of the reason that you guys don't, you bicker or you get to that point where you're arguing is because of misunderstanding. So what I would suggest is, if you are having an issue with, arguing a lot or something like that, repeat back to them what you are hearing them saying, and just say, okay, I just want to make sure that I'm hearing you clearly, because what I heard was, and just say what they said, but in your own words, how you're hearing it. And that way they will have an opportunity to be like, oh, no, that's not what I meant, So I would suggest to try that. But here we've got, with the Queen, we've got love and prosperity, okay? And with the Oracle, we've got seek wisdom and guidance from elders. I feel like you've got some, it's like you've got some wisdom here. And it's like, even though it might literally mean to go to people who are older than you and are people who've had more experiences than you in this particular situation, I actually feel like this is like going to your own self, going to your higher self. So maybe meditation and that kind of stuff needs to be brought in. Also remember that you need to bring a very nurturing sort of love, help that person be who they want to be, and that kind of thing. It really helps a person feel like they're loved for who they truly are when you are highlighting their strengths and helping them there, because it feels like this love and prosperity is about honoring the person for who they are. So keep that in mind as well. But I mean, seriously, you guys have a very, very positive reading. The Two of Cups, you guys are right there. You're good. The Ace of Wands is showing that there's some passion there. This just, I mean, it's not even like huge arguments, just bickering. And I just had a lot to say on it because there was just a lot coming through. The Oracle and the Queen lets us know that there's a lot of positive feminine energy there. This providing nurture, providing insight and that kind of stuff. And respect is your advice card. It's just make sure that you you continue to meet on that level, okay? Because what I feel like this is showing me is this lets me know that you already are there, but maybe sometimes there's certain things, because I mean, nobody can meet on the exact same level on everything. There's certain things that I personally am so dumb at that my partner's extremely smart at. And then there's the absolute reverse. There are things that he is just so, like, profoundly stupid about, and things, and there's things that come to me so naturally. It's weird, but overall, he and I meet on the same level. We both respect each other. We both take each other seriously, and that kind of stuff. So that's a really important kind of theme for this week. Okay, guys? Alrighty. Alright, hi. Those of you who picked the blue Lapis Lazuli, here is your reading. We have the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Hermit. Okay, we have the Griffin, which is honor and good luck. We have the Minstrel, let your intentions be known, and we have kindness. Okay, so this will not apply to all of you guys, but it applies to enough of you that I need to say it. You might be coming on a little bit too strong, or you have been, okay? And here's why I'm saying that. The Hermit's about withdrawing. We've got kindness. We don't have these big words like love and passion and that kind of stuff. We're talking about kindness. It's like kind of dampening things down, that kind of stuff, okay? The King of Swords is also a lot more cerebral. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that. Now, that doesn't apply to all of you guys, but I do want to acknowledge that that's going on. I don't usually do this when I see this, but I'm being told that I need to say that the Hermit can sometimes indicate a Virgo in the situation. Now, again, I don't always point out the cards that correspond to astrological stuff, because this is for everybody that picked this pile, okay? But I do want to say that I'm being told to say that. For some of you guys, you just need that. So let's go ahead and start here. Okay, we've got 3 masculine figures here. So this is letting me know, this could be one of 2 things, and unfortunately you're gonna know which one it is, okay? And this is all about you, okay? Either you have been too much in your masculine energy, so you've been pushing forward, you've been trying to make things happen, you've been initiating contact, initiating, you know, whatever it is, or it's calling for more masculine energy, okay? I really feel for most of you it's going to be that you've been too much in your masculine energy, though. And then, so that's the more subtle message, but then the more, you know, obvious message to me is that you and your person, you guys work, you know, you guys have that chemistry, because you guys both meet on that intellectual level. You guys can just joke with each other, or you guys have some kind of, maybe you guys might even be going to school for a PhD in the same subject or something like that, because it's like you guys have a very strong understanding of some kind of intellectual material on the same level. For example, like me and Shannon, my business partner, we both know a whole lot about one branch of psychology. And so we can meet there, and we get along really well when we're talking about that, right? But he might be talking about, I don't know, video games, like newer video games, okay? Because I know all about the older ones, but I don't have time for the newer ones right now. You know, so he might be talking about the newer video games, and I might be like, I have no idea what to do or say. I'm not meeting him on the right level, you know. And that's when I have to say, like, Shannon, let's talk about psychodynamic theory again. That's basically what this is talking about. Remember that your connection is more intellectual. That does not mean it can't be exciting, because we also have the King of Wands here that is talking about that passion, that fire, and that excitement. You know, what the Kings let me know, though, is that it's like it's controlled, though, okay? It's like you have it there, but you're controlling it. You're making sure that you're keeping it in check. You're not letting it get out of control. The Hermit energy for your week just might be that you or your person is going to be kind of withdrawn this week. There's nothing bad about that. There's no disaster card here, okay? we have the Griffin, okay? So this is talking about honor and good luck. So there's going to be something about your relationship this week that you're going to feel lucky in. And it's like, okay, so this could be partly, you know, you and your person feel lucky to meet each other and know each other and all of that. So there's that element, but I don't feel like that's what this is talking about. I feel like this is talking about just some lucky, it might be a synchronicity, it might be just a coincidence, you know, a happenstance, you know, something like that. But I think that this is talking about something that you guys are going to get lucky in something. For example, if you're in a long distance relationship, maybe plane tickets usually cost $800 and you'll find out that you could get plane tickets for $400, you know, and then you guys buy plane tickets and oh my gosh, you're going to see one another, you know, that kind of thing. It's like something lucky is going to happen, right? And then this is an interesting one. This is the minstrel is saying, let your intentions be known. It's interesting also because this is talking about music too. When I think about music, I think about harmony. I think about very passionate self-expression, and I also think about like this kindness here. You don't necessarily have to fall at the person's feet and say that you love them and all of this kind of stuff. You can show them that you care about them in other ways. You can be like, I like what you're doing, or I love that joke you told, or whatever, and you're still telling that person you like them. You're just doing it in smaller doses, so it's a little bit more palatable to that person, so that person doesn't get scared, you know? Not that, I mean, not that they should be scared of love, but for some reason humans are. It's a weird thing. I don't understand why, because it's pretty much the least scary thing that can happen to you, but people get scared of love, and I'm one of them, okay? I get scared of it too, because it makes me feel crazy, like I don't have my mental faculties about me or something. But yeah, and so we're talking about letting your intentions be known. It can, you know, this can show up as sharing your emotions, but I think more importantly, this is talking about what is the next step here? What do you want to have happen next? Let that be known to yourself for certain. And if you're comfortable enough with your person, let them know that that's where you hope it goes, okay? So really think about what the next steps are going to be. So this is kind of like a withdrawing and planning period for this week, okay? And just know that I don't want you to overcorrect, okay? Not at all. But you might be coming across as a little bit too strong, so just find ways to take the bigger things that you're trying to do or say and chop them up into smaller things. So for example, like I said, if you want to say I love you, you know, you can, you know, or I love you, or I want to spend the rest of my life with you, you can say instead, you know, I really love what you did, I really love what you're wearing, I really love that joke, or like I can't wait for next year when we can do this together, or oh, I'm really looking forward to Christmas because I have this really great, you know, for those of you who celebrate, of course, because I have this really great present that I have, you know, and my idea for you, you know, let them know you see the two of you in the future still together, still interacting and things like that, rather than saying I want to spend the rest of my life with you, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, find a smaller way to say it, okay? That way you still get it out of your system, but you're not coming forward so strongly, okay? Yeah, so you're good there. Alrighty. Okay, those of you who picked the white opalite, pile number 6, here's your reading. Okay, so we've got the Emperor, we have the 3 of Swords, and we've got Justice. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, choose your words carefully. Imagination clouds your judgment, and Purpose. How interesting. Okay, this card comes up for me sometimes when we're talking about a third-party situation, or when we're talking about past trauma. I feel like right now this is actually talking about some kind of heartache that you're going to be experiencing this week when it comes to your love life. Now, I understand it's a very scary picture, and I understand that it's like, whoa, okay, that's it, whatever, you know, I'm gonna unsubscribe and everything, you know, but it doesn't have to be that, because look, we've got this one saying that imagination clouds your judgment, and then we've got the clouds in this card. Okay, let me hold it up a little bit so you guys can see it. Okay, it's upside down to me, so I can't tell if you guys can see it or not. But you see the clouds at the top there? See, I feel like this is, you could be doing this to yourself. Now, I'm not saying that anybody's going to want to cause themselves pain, but sometimes when we get cloudy in our thoughts and we start just spending a whole lot of time there, and we let our imagination get away with, get away from us, we can start hurting ourselves by imagining things that aren't true, that are very hurtful, right? Here's where the Emperor and Justice comes in, and Purpose here. This is all about learning to control that and seeing what is true right in front of us. The Justice card is about finding truth, okay? That balance between the head and the heart, okay? And the Emperor is all about... Now, it's not always about control, like... in a negative way, but it's more about discipline, controlling oneself and learning, learning the way, an emperor governs, okay? So part of governing is controlling the people, because that's what you do. I mean, that's what government is for, is to keep things under control so things don't go to chaos and that kind of thing. I feel like the Emperor is coming up, just letting you know that just be a little bit more disciplined about how you're thinking. Think about what is right in front of you, rather than worrying about what's like 2 or 3 steps forward, okay? Because it feels like what you're imagining is causing you more pain than it should, okay? Because we've got this sandwich right between 2 major arcana cards, letting me know that this week is supposed to be a big week for you. It's supposed to be good. So for this card to come up, I just feel like there's something off inside of you. So you've got to really examine yourself and see, what am I believing about this situation that might not be true? Or what am I thinking about the situation that I really don't know for certain? Like for example, you might think, oh, this person hates me. Well, it's like, well, have they said that to you? Have they said, I hate you? Have they said that? How do you know? Or, oh, I look so stupid, or, or whatever, I'm using these self-effacing, comments, because it's like, it feels like it's pointing towards yourself, okay? Like you are aiming some kind of, maybe not anger, but just some kind of tension to yourself, rather than just kind of letting it dissipate. Sometimes we can do that with sadness, when we're feeling sad about something, or grief. We can take that grief and turn it into almost self-loathing. And it's not because we don't like ourselves, it's because we don't like the situation. And the situation makes us feel bad. And so if we feel bad, then maybe we are bad, that kind of thing. It's kind of like that. Our experiences do shape how we emote and our thoughts and all of that. Just get down to the bottom, question your beliefs. What do you believe about this? You might want to just write out a list, because you could believe 2 things that are completely opposite of each other. You could believe, sometimes I believe I'm not good enough, sometimes I believe I'm too good. It could be something like that. But just write them all out, and then go through all of the things that you believe about your relationship, about this situation, and say, which one of these is serving me and which one isn't? Which one of these are really true and which ones aren't true, okay? And challenge yourself. It's like, how do I know that? How do I know that this is true? And that will really help you kind of sort out the clouded thoughts, and then the pain should go away at that point, okay? With the choose your words carefully, I feel like this is going to be where you are. I feel like you're kind of walking on eggshells in this situation. I feel like you think that you're going to do something wrong. And it's weird because I don't have any, I don't have any intuitive feelings like there's anything you could do wrong in this situation. Just know that you've got to figure out what is the purpose this relationship is going to serve in your life. And once you pick that, then you can love that purpose. You can love the person for the purpose that they fill in your life. And if you don't know what that purpose is, then you can just examine what has changed in your life since you met this person. And by looking at what has changed, or what you've been thinking about since you met this person, and that kind of thing, you can start looking at, okay, so this is the purpose the person is forming in my life, that kind of thing. So, I always... dislike giving, you know, bad news, but sometimes we do this stuff to ourselves, you know, it happens. The reason this stuff happens, you know, on the one hand, it's because we can learn from it, and on the other hand, it's like we're humans, we're gonna make mistakes, we're going to misinterpret situations and all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes we are going to let our imaginations get carried away with us. Don't feel like you're a bad person because of that. Just kind of correct it, and then, you know, learn from it, and then keep going. Because, you know, this is just, we're just talking about the next week, okay? Alrighty. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. I want to thank each and every one of you for the wonderful comments, the likes, the subscribes. I get so excited when I see how this channel growing. I feel so honored that so many of you guys really appreciate the content that I put out, and I'm looking forward to putting out so much more. I do want to say that I am going to be available for readings again starting on Monday, but I am going, the supply of readings is going to be very limited because I have limited resources until I get the new processor that I need in order to process the videos fast enough so that I can actually get the videos to my clients at, you know, in a reasonable time, because seriously, it's just not working right now. That said, you know, if you want to donate, there is a donate button at the bottom, or it's a link. You know, you can either donate through Amazon, or you can donate through PayPal. Excuse me. Either one is fine. But just know that I appreciate each and every one of you, and please do not feel like you have to. I'm only putting it out there just because I do have something I need to purchase so that, you know, the channel can run better. And, you know, if you get something on Amazon, just know that those gift cards, the gift certificates, I would put that towards the purchase of the processor, because that's where I'm purchasing it, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. That said, I hope you guys have a really great week, and I will see you at our next reading. Thank you.